Hi, you guys. I'm so happy to be here. So, my name is Rachel Brathen. We're going to practice and flow and tune inward a little bit today. That's the plan. So, before we start, because I love to get people a little bit uncomfortable, I would love for you to find a neighbor, say hi, what your name is, and something you're super happy about today. Go. All right. And once you've had a moment to tune in on that, we're going to take that energy of feeling connected and joyful. We're going to take that and we're going to bring it into our practice. So let's come all the way lying down. All the way flat on your back, lying down. And just take a moment. So there's a lot of excitement in the room today. We have a lot of amazing things coming our way. So let's take this moment here now to really tune in, to connect to yourself, and just sensing that connection we have to something that makes us really joyful, something that makes us really excited. And I want you to take that into your own body, into your own space, your heart. Let's place one hand to the heart, one hand to the low belly. Let's go ahead and close the eyes. So the moment you make your way here, this is sort of the beginning of our practice, the beginning of this moment. Feeling into what it feels like to be here. So feeling into what it's like to connect to your own body, what it's like to connect to your own heart. And let's start to tap into the breath so you start to really feel what it's like to have arrived to your practice today. There's lots of people around. We're in an actual airplane hangar. There's music, there's excitement. We have the ability to tune in and connect wherever we are. Yeah, wherever we are. So in this moment, feeling into your own heart, feeling into your own belly, and seeing if you can make some space here for the breath to grow a little bit deeper. So letting your next breath be drawn all the way into the low belly, and then filling the heart space up with breath, connecting here. Let's take a few moments just like that, breathing into the low belly, filling the breath up into the heart. Noticing that connection you have between the breath in and the breath out. And feel the earth supporting your body in this moment, the way the earth has supported your body every moment since the moment you were born. You have never been alone here. And you will never be alone here. There's something here in this moment that has your back, that supports you, that allows you to be here present in this now. Let's have the next breath in be the deepest breath we've taken all day long. So fill the body up, 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 up. Open the mouth, exhale to let go. Good, let's do that one more time. Inhale, filling the body up with breath, with space. Open the mouth, let it out. Good, one more time. And at the top of the breath this time, setting the collective intention to connect to our heart space for this practice. Open the mouth, exhale the breath away. Good, and let's start to bring some movement in here through the fingertips and the toes. You can nod your body, your head a little side to side, and let's take a full body stretch. So hands and arms reach all the way up above the head. Take up all the space you could possibly ever need. And then as you exhale, let's bring our knees into our chest. Give yourself a big warm squeeze, a big hug here. So rock the body a little bit side to side. And let's take a reclined figure four. So you can connect the right ankle to the left knee in a figure four shape. And then pull the knees in toward your heart center, in toward your chest. And take just a moment there, see what it feels like to be here now. And you can flex into both feet. See if you can lengthen the tailbone a little closer toward the ground. I like to find little bits of movement for the body, swaying left to right, right to left in any shape. So just checking in with your lower back, what it's like to be here in this moment, what it's like to be here in this pose. And then perhaps deepening that sensation by pulling the knees a little bit closer in toward your heart and toward your chest. Good. And as you exhale, let's take a twist. So you'll cross the right knee over the left. Drop your knees over toward the left side. And then take your right arm and stretch it all the way over toward the neighbor that you have lying on the right. So let your knees drop to one side. Let the arms stretch over the opposite way. And feeling into the stretch of the chest here. And perhaps your gaze can linger all the way over toward the side of the fingertips as well. And then when you get here, take a moment to allow the entire weight of the body to drop toward the floor. So there's nothing you have to hold on to here anymore. There's nothing you have to cling to. But allow yourself to soften, to release, to melt. And I have some beautiful assistants here in the room. They might come around and check in if you would like a little physical assist throughout this practice. If you enjoy it, just say yes. If you don't, say no, and they'll find someone else to connect with. Let's take another cleansing breath in the twist. So fill the body, breathing in. And this time, open your mouth, stick your tongue out as you exhale. Good. Gently lift your gaze, look up toward the sky. Bring your knees in. You can unravel the legs. And take a full body stretch once more. Reach the hands and arms all the way above the head. And on the exhale, knees pull in toward the heart, pull in toward the chest again. And then this time, left ankle will connect to the top of the right knee, finding that reclined figure four, hugging the knees into the chest. You can flex into both feet, checking in how you feel around this side of the body. Perhaps this side feels a little tighter, then breathe some more space into the side of the hip if you feel that. Perhaps you feel more spacious, like you have more energy in this area. I'm finding gratitude for that, aiming for balance. And if you'd like to move a little side to side, just rocking the body left to right, right to left, you can do that. Beautiful. Let's take a full breath in. And on the exhale, gently crossing the left knee all the way over the right. Take your twist. This time the knee will drop over toward the right side and the left arm will stretch over toward the left. Just allowing for the body to settle in this shape. And then feeling again into the body what it feels like to be right here. So can you stay anchored in the breath throughout this practice? Can you keep your focus within the body, within the heart? Just letting yourself stay here now. And when we take that cleansing breath next, if you want to stick your tongue out to release a little extra emotion, do it. Fill the body up, inhale. Open mouth, tongue out, let it go. Good. Let's bring our gaze up to the sky. Draw the knees back to center. Unravel the legs and squeeze everything together just a little bit tighter. Hug everything close. And then instead of rocking side to side, let's rock the body up and down. So you begin to massage the length of the spine, the sides of the back. Eventually give yourself enough momentum to come all the way over toward tabletop position. So palms of the hands and knees will connect toward the floor. And in this shape, I like to right away close the eyes and just feel into what would feel really good in this moment. So perhaps that's a cat and cow where you inhale for the heart to lift and you exhale to round through the spine. Maybe that's another type of movement you would like to find in this moment, then do that. I like to think that if we close the eyes, we can connect to what we need, not so much to the idea of what we think we should be doing in this practice. So noticing if there's another shape you would like to find, perhaps there is something deeper you can move into from this pose. You can circle your ribs side to side. You can sway your hips left to right. You can sink back to child's pose. Just take a few moments here, really letting this practice be for you. Fully letting this practice be for you. And some days that means we want to move really gently, really slowly. Some days we want to pick up the pace a little bit. Let's take another minute just moving the way your body is asking to move in this moment. Good. And then wherever you are, bring more intention into that movement. Wherever you are, bring more presence into that movement. So if you're still, let yourself be still. If you're moving dynamically, let yourself really take up some space today. We have the opportunity to any moment of any day drop into our hearts and listen to what we need. So do that right now. Listen to what you need. And eventually, we're going to all meet back in child's pose. So we're going to sink the sit bones back toward the heels. Let your sit bones settle way back. You can inch your fingertips further forward toward the top of the mat. And then before we really get this party started, take a moment to let your heart drop to the ground. So whatever your heart has been carrying over the past couple of days, in this space, in this shape, let it drop. Let it soften. You don't have to hold on anymore. One more full breath here. Through the mouth, exhale, let it out. Inhale, float the body up to tabletop position. Let's tuck the toes under. On an exhale, begin to sink your sit bones back toward downward facing dog. So this might be your first down dog of the day. It might be your 100th down dog of the day. I don't know what you guys have been doing all morning, but I like to believe that every down dog we've ever practiced has brought us to the down dog you're in right now. So whatever is going on with your body, whatever you feel like you need in this moment, life brought you that for a reason, and you have the tools you need to drop into that place. So let's move. Let's bend one knee at a time, extend one leg at a time, sway the body side to side. Feeling what it's like to settle into this down dog. Perhaps it's sticky today. Maybe you feel tight somewhere, and noticing that. Perhaps you feel spacious and really soft, and this is easy, then noticing that. And eventually we'll settle into stillness in down dog. Let's soften the knees a little bit, so gently bending into the knees so you can lift your sit bones higher to the sky. Take another breath in. Another breath out. Next time you inhale, float the body forward into plank pose. So shoulders will line up somewhere right above the hips. Let's see how we feel about hanging out here for a little while. So option always is to drop the knees down to the ground for knee down plank pose. If you're not happy in the pose, change something. If it doesn't feel good to be here, soften something. Maybe we can lift the hips a little higher to the sky. Pull the low belly in so the navel pulls it in toward the spine. Give yourself a little more core activation as you pull the hands back toward your toes. Let's take another full breath. Exhale to the world's slowest, lowering all the way down to the ground. But take your time. Some of you guys are like, no. Belly flop to the mat, that's cool too. Let's release the toes. Inhale for cobra. Tops of the feet press to the floor. Heart will lift up toward the sky. And now traction your hands back toward your hips to create a little more space across the chest. Exhale, pull it back, downward facing dog. So through your knees, let your hips lift all the way up and back. Good, let's do that one more time. Float forward into plank pose. Take a breath in. And now the slowest lower ever, all the way down to the ground. There we go. Release your toes, cobra. Breath in for the heart to lift. You can keep the elbows soft here. And then pull it all the way back to your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's from this down dog, lift the gaze, look forward. Take a big step with both of your feet and come all the way to the front of your mat. And when you get here, feel free to separate the feet a little wider than hip distance apart if you'd like, just so you can melt and take a forward bend. You can wrap the arms around the opposite sides of the elbows. Let everything drop toward the ground. Let's nod the head yes a few times. Shake the head no. Next, exhale, gently releasing the elbows so we can start to roll all the way up toward a standing position. Take your time. Eventually, your head will rise, and with your head, arms will sweep up toward the sky. Lift the gaze, connect the palms of the hands. Exhale, pull your hands down to heart center. And take a moment here to close the eyes, pressing your thumbs toward your sternum, grounding into the heart here now. So again, checking in with what your heart needs from you today. Let's take another full breath in and breath out. Blink the eyes open, release the arms. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Lift the gaze, connect. Exhale, hinge at the hips and surrender all the way down to the ground. Lift up from your heart, breathing in. Plant the palms. Let's step back to plank pose. Breathing out. In plank, let's take another breath, finding your center. As you exhale, bend the elbows any amount. So you can lower to chaturanga if that's your jam. You can come all the way down if that's what you like. And let's take cobra or up dog. So you choose a way to open your heart right now. Take an extra breath there. Your next exhale will pull the hips all the way back, downward facing dog. Good. And now from this down dog, let's right away lift the gaze, look forward, bend into the knees, either take a step or a little hop, come all the way to the front. Halfway lift, inhale, folding forward, exhale. Come all the way up to stand, inhale, rise, lift the arms, lift your gaze. Exhale, fold forward, right away melt down toward the ground, so surrender to earth. Let your heart lift up, breathing in. Plant the palms. You can step back. If you want to jump back to chaturanga, go right ahead. Your next breath in will open up from your heart. Exhale, pull the hips back, downward facing dog. Good. Let's keep that flow moving. So moving with your breath. Inhale to look forward. Bend into the knees. Exhale, you step or hop, front of the space. Halfway lift, breathing in. Folding forward, breathing out. Let's come all the way up, rise, grow extra tall, look up. Exhale, fold forward, melting down toward the floor. Let your breath guide the way. Lift your heart, breathing in. Plant the palms, step or hop it back. We make our way from plank to chaturanga as you breathe out. Heart opens, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Let's do one more cycle, down dog to down dog. So lift your gaze, bend those knees, step or hop front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Folding forward, exhale. Come all the way up to stand, grow a little bit taller this time, rise above. Exhale, fold forward, surrender to Mama Earth. Let your heart lift, breathe in. Plant the palms, jump or step it back, breathe out. Next inhale, heart opens. Next exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take this moment to feel that connection of your heart beating inside of your chest. What it feels like to move with intention, to breathe with intention, to stay here now. Well, inhale, right leg sweeps up and back behind us. Three-legged down dog. Bend the knee, open up through the hip. Let's circle out the hip, circle out through the knee. Take a few breaths to create some extra space. Next inhale, extend that right leg straight back behind you. On an exhale, pull the right knee into the chest, shift your weight forward, connect to center, and then step that right foot all the way up between the thumbs. Let's bring the back knee down to the ground. Inhale, lift the arms, rise up. And then take a moment to notice how you feel here. You can hook your thumbs together, fan your fingers out, and take a moment to let the heart lift a little higher, leaning the heart back into space. Try grounding into the sole of that right foot, so find your earth as you rise a little taller. And then one more breath, try to soften the face. Exhale, hands come down to the ground. You'll step it straight back to three-legged down dog, right leg up and back behind you again. Bend the knee, open the hip, exhale. If it's a part of your practice and you'd like to flip your dog, you can take a moment to do that here, grounding into the foot, letting the hips lift. Otherwise, we stay in three-legged down dog. Take a moment here, wherever you are. We meet back in three-legged, right leg up and back. And then set the foot down onto the ground, exhale. Float forward into plank pose, inhale. Let's bend the elbows and lower to the floor to a count of 5, 4, 3, hanging out, 2, and 1, all the way down. Lift your heart, breath in. Good job. Downward facing dog, breath out. Left leg right away, sweep it up and back behind you. Bend the knee, open up to the hip, and let's open up, make a little bit of space. We have a dog in the room. This is the best thing ever. So let's circle out the hip a little bit, circle out the knee. Next time you inhale, that left leg will extend straight back behind you. Exhale to pull the knee into the chest, connect to center, look up, and then step that left foot between the thumbs. Back knee will come down. Inhale to rise up to that low lunge. And take a moment here, allowing yourself to grow a little taller. Take up a little more space. Hook your thumbs together, awkward thumb on top, and then again, fan the fingers out, open across the heart, open across the chest. Lift the gaze if you haven't already. Good. If you have the space, maybe a little smile. It's just yoga, relax. Next, exhale, you'll bring your hands to the ground, step it back to three-legged downward dog, left leg up and back behind you. Bend the knee, open the hip, and if you did on the other side, here as well, flipping your dog over into wild thing. And if you did it on the other side, and stay in three-legged down dog, make space for the breath to grow deeper there. We'll meet back in three-legged, left leg up and back, breathing in. Exhale, left foot comes down to the ground. Float forward into your high plank, inhale. And we're gonna count from 5 to come all the way down, so let's keep it slow. Bending the elbows, counting 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down. Lift your heart up, breathing in, cobra or up dog. And let's pull it straight back, downward facing dog. Beautiful, you guys. Let's take a full breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Inhale, right leg sweeps up and back behind you. Exhale, draw the right knee into the chest. Step the right foot in between the thumbs. And this time, let's come to a standing L shape. So you're gonna lift the back knee off the floor and walk your hands in toward that right foot. So a pretty tricky place to hang out. And you can choose to walk your hands closer in toward the ankle, closer in toward the leg if that feels good. Or you can stay as you are, working on your balance here as you're folding. Good. Next time you inhale, let's lift up from our heart center. Exhale, draw the left knee into the chest and come all the way standing up, catching a hold of that left knee. Whew. So finding a place on the floor to gaze at to give you a little more support. Don't look at me because I wobble all over the place. Let's take tree pose, connecting the sole of the foot, inner calf or upper inner thigh. Drawing that left hip forward in space, hands will connect to heart center. Let's challenge ourselves a little bit. So open up, lift your arms up to the sky. See if you can look forward and then try to look up toward the ceiling. And if that's piece of cake, close your eyes. Woo. Yeah, and if you fall, pick yourself up and try again. Again, try closing your eyes, spread through the fingers, grow tall. And then open your eyes back up, hands will connect to heart center, knee into chest, warrior 3 on the way back. Flex into that foot. Bend into the front knee, step the leg way back and take high lunge. Rise the arms up, big breath. Exhale, hands to the floor, grounding the left hand. Right arm will come straight up to the sky for a standing lunge twist. And let's circle this arm a little bit. Should feel pretty good to just sweep the arm back and forward and around. And do that a couple times. Sweep the arm back and forward and around. A few more times, sweeping, circling the arm. Next time you inhale, reach the right arm straight up to the sky. Exhale, bring the right hand down. You can step back to plank for a vinyasa or come straight back to downward dog if that feels good. And then once you're there, grounding into the breath, grounding back into the heart. What does it feel like to move the body in this way? We inhale, left leg up and back behind you. Exhale, draw the knee into the chest, step the left foot forward, and we come into that standing L shape. So lift the back leg off the floor. And you can walk your hands in toward the foot, walk the hands in toward the ankle. Standing L is the artist previously known as standing split. It's just a kinder name for this shape, I think. And it's your decision to stay here, connect with the breath, which can be advanced enough, or if you'd like to engage and lift the leg a little higher. Take another breath. Next time you inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, draw the right knee into the chest. Come all the way standing up. You got this. Hug the knee into the chest. Stay connected here, anchoring. Good. Let's take tree pose. Connect the foot to the upper inner thigh or inner calf. Hands at heart center. And then reach the arms up, up, up to the sky. Give yourself that challenge here with a gaze. So if you're gazing to the floor, maybe gaze forward toward the stage. If you're gazing forward, lift your gaze, look up. If you're looking up, close your eyes. So the worst thing that will happen literally is that you fall and you catch yourself with your foot, no big deal. Give it a try, especially if you feel like you're tightening your jaw here. Maybe sway the arms a little bit, let yourself fall over, yeah? We don't have to be so serious in this practice all the time. Good, take one more breath. Next time you exhale, pull your knee into the chest and we make our way through a warrior 3 on the way back. Take a moment there, tap into your center, find your core, try squaring off the hips so you rotate the right inner thigh to the sky. Bend into that left knee, step the right leg way back and come into your high lunge, breathing in. Gorgeous, you guys. We'll exhale, hands come down to the floor, ground the right hand to the earth, left arm lifts up to the sky. And as you twist, circling the arm back and forward and around. Just bringing a little bit of movement, a little bit of fluidity into that shoulder. Do that a few times, circling the arm back and around, back and around, back and around. One more breath. Next time you inhale, lift the arm, lift the gaze. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step it back, either plank or down dog. Choice is yours. Beautiful, everyone. Let's allow our next breath in to sweep the right leg up and back behind us. And this time as we exhale, let's float to pigeon pose. So bring the knee forward toward the front of the space. Couple of options here. We can bring the foot close into the body for a softer shape, or we can flex the foot and bring the shin bone a little higher to the top of the mat. Wherever you are, let's gaze back, back leg straight and strong. And next exhale, we begin to fold forward, settling the forehead to the hands toward the earth. And let's soften the breath here. And take a moment to drop into silence, feeling the heart. Of course, if this shape isn't filling us up right now, we can take that reclined figure 4 we moved into in the beginning of this practice. But for right now, feeling and listening to the sound of the breath, feeling into the sensation of this hip, connecting to whatever you've been holding in this part of the body, whatever you're holding around the center of the heart. See if you can allow yourself to deepen the shape without necessarily having to deepen the pose. So can you deepen your experience of the pose by connecting to your breath on a much deeper level? You can make this pose more advanced by committing to being very present in every second of this pose. To not let your mind bring you astray, to not leave the room, to not think about anything else, but just lovingly again and again and again, bringing your awareness back to your breath. One more full breath. When you feel ready, let's start to make our way back up. So walking the hands into the body, tuck the back toes under, press your way back to downward facing dog. If you want to sweep that right leg up and back, shake it out, you can do that. And set the foot back down onto the ground. Let's float forward into a high plank on the breath in. Drop your knees if you like. Bend the elbows, lower gently on the breath out. Lifting up from your heart as you breathe in, widen across the collarbones. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Let's get into the left side right away. So you inhale, left leg sweeps up and back behind you. Exhale, left knee, left wrist, settling into pigeon on the left side. You have a lot of options here in terms of how you set your body up to settle in the pose. So first, check in with your alignment, hips squaring toward the front of the mat. Next exhale, surrender toward the ground. And then feeling into this moment now, different side, different place, different shape. And noticing if there is any part of the body where you might be transferring some of this tightness now. So continuing to let the breath be the most important thing in this moment. Yes, we feel tight here. Yes, it's hard to stay here. Life is hard sometimes. Life is hard a lot of times. And the practice of yoga teaches us how to dwell in uncomfortable spaces, how to allow ourselves to settle into discomfort, to choose to take another breath, to choose to take another breath, to choose to stay another moment, to get back up when we fall, to try again, to never, ever, ever give up. 10 more breaths as you are present here now.
Gently as you go. I lift my head up slow. Easy as it goes.
If you have space to melt a little deeper, now is a good time. And then when you find that inner cue of the body telling you it's time to start to make your way back, and then you do that, walk your hands in a little bit, tuck the back toes under, and make your way back to that downward facing dog. You can shake out the left leg. Last vinyasa of this practice. Let's float the body forward, finding plank pose, breath in. Mindfully bending through the elbows, breath out. Opening your heart wide, breathing in. And pulling the hips back, breathing out, downward facing dog. Good. Let's settle into child's pose. Separate the knees so you have space for the heart and the belly to settle to the floor. And then taking this moment to connect to your heart the way you connected to your heart at the beginning of this practice. The way we want to remind ourselves to stay connected to the heart all the time. And there'll be moments when we leave ourselves. There'll be moments when we forget to tune in, when we step away, we get distracted. Remind yourself here now, your heart is beating. You're doing the best you can with what you have. One more breath to melt. The next time you inhale, walk your hands up so you can sit on the heels. And we're going to sweep the legs out in front of us and find staff pose, Dandasana, sitting up nice and tall. And fingertips can stay on either side of the hip, flexing through the feet. You can point and flex a few times. And then grounding in through the sit bones, we're just going to grow tall by lifting up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, start to walk the hands forward until you get to a place where you feel enough sensation. So maybe that's folding all the way down and holding onto your feet, but perhaps that's just lingering here, feeling the sensation of the backside of the legs, allowing yourself to deepen mainly through breath. So feeling into what your body needs, how deep you want to go. And take another breath. Folding into yourself. And next time you inhale, let's walk the hands all the way back up. And pointing the toes, shake your knees loose a little bit here. We'll keep the sit bones rooted somewhere to the center of the mat, holding onto the back of the knees as you pull the knees close into the chest. And you can stay there holding on, giving yourself some support if you like. You can also reach the fingertips forward. We're just going to take 3 breaths to pull the low belly into the spine, to lift up from the heart, smile across the chest, connecting to that place inside of the body where we connect to trust, where we're present here now. And then gently extend the legs if you like. And we're going to come all the way down to the floor, taking a moment to pause and hover right above the ground. And then bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Let's rock the body side to side. Connect the soles of the feet to the floor. Next time you inhale, lift your hips up off the earth. And find bridge pose. So hips lift, feet ground to the floor. And we engage the glutes, activate the inner thighs, just enough to make some space for the back of the heart and the shape. And take another breath in. And now try one vertebra at a time to let the spine settle toward the ground. So one vertebra at a time, coming all the way down. And then windshield wiper the legs, swaying the knees side to side. And then draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a well-deserved hug. Full breath in. As you exhale, drop your knees over toward the left side. So knees go to the left. Take your right arm, reach it over toward the right. Grounding the right shoulder blade to the floor. And returning to that feeling of support, of allowing the body to settle to the ground. And take a full breath in. And through the mouth, let it out. And gently connect to center. Pull your knees all the way back. And drop them the opposite side. So knees drop to the right side. And now the left arm will extend fully over to the left. And taking this moment here now to let the body and the heart rest. And surrender into the shape of this twist. One more full breath in. Open the mouth, let it out. And connect to center, hug your knees all the way back into the chest. And we'll make our way to our final pose of this practice. So Savasana, corpse pose. Stretching the legs all the way out. And then allowing yourself to completely surrender into this shape, even though we are in an unusual circumstance, there's lots of people around. Really allow yourself to tune into the heart space. And if it helps, you can even connect your hands just for a brief moment to your heart, to your chest. Again, feeling what it's like for the heart to settle here. And knowing that whatever you need, you have the ability to drop into a place where you can access the tools you need to find the healing you're looking for. One more breath in. And as you exhale, Savasana. Letting your next breath in grow even deeper and fuller. And as you exhale, beginning to bring some movement into the body, fingertips and toes. Nodding the head a little bit side to side. If you'd like to take a full body stretch, go right ahead. Hands and arms all the way above the head. And taking the time that your body needs to once again open up into what's ahead. You can roll over onto the right side, just taking a moment to linger there, energetically balancing your space after this practice. And then when you feel ready, you'll gently make your way all the way up into a seated position. So we can take a moment here to ground, to close, uniting the palms of the hands to the center of the heart, and taking this final moment to bow your head down, connecting your head toward your heart. And through your thumbs pressing toward the sternum, just feeling your heart beating in this moment. For everything that's come before, for everything that's yet to come, and most of all for this moment here now, we bow to Mama Earth. Namaste. Thank you. And as you come back up, see if you can look to your left, look to your right, and give some gratitude to the people around you for moving with you today. And maybe you make a new friend, you take them for ice cream after this practice, change numbers, become yoga buddies. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, you guys. Hope you have a really good rest of the day. Thank you, thank you, thank you.